In today's Urbandoned video, we showcase our exploration inside an old abandoned orphanage near the southern border of Scotland. The dated structure was built in the late 1800s, formerly a convent and school for girls, boasting a Gothic, imposing design with stunning architecture, such as ornate windows, an impressive church, and mosaic floor tiling. Join us as we discover what remains in the building today. Remember to click subscribe and press the notification bell to never miss a video. Last time, we asked the question, what do you think about the thieving of copper wiring from abandoned buildings? We had many interesting responses, but have selected this one from Jesse, who made a good point, saying that removing copper can open up the property to water damage and structural failure. This is a factor we agree with, of the opinion that decay should happen naturally, without human control. This week we are asking, would you walk through a derelict building knowing that it has internal CCTV? Let us know what you think to possibly feature in our next upload. In South Scotland, the massive disused orphanage lies atop a hill in a large town. Its impressive architecture and scale gives it a superior presence raised above its surroundings. Commissioned to be built in the early 1880s, the building started as a religious convent, having various extensions in the following decades. Over its period in use, it found function as a Catholic girls' school, a temporary courthouse and a museum, as well as having related films shot on site. At one corner of the grounds, we could distinguish a chapel accompanied by many crosses and stained glass windows. This was the last section of the property to close a couple years ago, meaning the decay would be contrasting inside between either part. Despite zero wooden boards on the windows, a decent bordering system of barbed wire fences and a high amount of external cameras caused us some difficulty, but we soon entered the structure. I love these windows. Very much like a certain seminary. It's one of my favourite abandoned places that I've done. This one's just a whole lot cleaner. There's actually no decay at all. Look at these ornate wooden details. Virtually all of the rooms in the complex are bare and empty, with minimal decay. The most interest that we found in certain areas was dated wooden beams and unique window shapes. As we figured the internal CCTV we had been warned of lied on the lower floors, we started in the upper regions of the orphanage, working our way down. In no time we began to spot more and more intruder detection methods each floor we passed. The staircase has stayed in really good condition for how old it is. I think there's sound of electricity as masts on the roof, which is probably a reason that this building has internal cameras and whatnot. Here's one right here. Wow, look at this floor though. My god, that is very cool. One of the reasons we enjoyed wandering through the large property was to notice how little things had changed since its construction. It had remained almost identical in how it was dreamt of, but had found multiple uses in a modernising society. You know, when the staircase goes down 2 stories before it reaches a floor, the corridors are going to have tall ceilings. It's just such a shame it's so empty. Imagine if there was more furniture in this place, it would be amazing. Like most religious abandonments we come across, the corridors gained an extra detail as we headed downwards that made them stand out every time, such as arches, mosaic flooring and big windows to cast light into the convent. That one is on, you can just see the little red lights, but it's smashed. There's wires everywhere, leading to all these different sensors that are above most of the doors that connect the main part, like the staircases, on different sides of the building. We progressed into the dormitory block for the students, recognisable due to its smaller rooms and recreational spaces. Got a carpeted floor. I feel like these would have been bedrooms. Strange how they blocked up all the fireplaces. More nice windows. There's a bit more furniture in these bits as well. It's an old TV. Guarantee it doesn't have the screen. The bay window, the pool table. It's like some sort of games room for the students. I'm not actually surprised the power works in here. Very clean, and with all the electricity on to do the alarms and cameras, it's not really that surprising. A microwave, a fridge and a kettle. Weird, some of these rooms it looks like they were redecorating but didn't finish. That painting of the elephant clearly wasn't done, but it's still pretty cool. After walking past so many cameras, we were almost waiting for a security member to come and remove us from the site. With this apparently not being the case, it's likely that they are in place to catch trespassers that vandalise the building, and are only checked if a new piece of graffiti or a smashed window is spotted. Keeping this in mind, our moves around the 4 stories of the orphanage were tactical, to stay as undetected as we could. Next we headed upstairs again, leaving the ground floor for last, where there would definitely be a higher chance of a working sensor. Looks like they were doing some work here with the sandbags. So nice, the architecture's pretty amazing. Such a shame that this building has no use. See, there's a lot more decay in this bit. This was possibly our favourite architectural region of the building, as it looked to be considerably older than everything else, almost as if this corridor had been locked off because of its unsafe attributes. As mentioned earlier, it was increasingly similar to the classic UK seminary we visited in 2018, which seemed to boast comparable details and appearance. There was also more decay in the upper bedrooms, again signifying that they might have been out of use for a longer duration than everything else.
I don't understand how that light even works. It's like we're going towards a more religious area of the building. Just tell by the wooden doors, these are definitely surrounding a chapel. Wow. Holy shit. This is pretty cool. It sucks about the cluttered items on the right, but the architecture is pretty impressive.
Despite being quite dark inside, the convent's church was incredible, showing no vandalism and all of its intricate stained glass windows intact. A modern carpet had been placed on the ground, but in some parts you could make out yet another mosaic floor, of which the congregation would know all too well. It was one of the best chapels we had seen in terms of its condition, used during the building's museum occupancy and only vacated a few years back. This hall, as well as the rest of the structure, will hopefully be saved with not too much effort, unlike other locations we have seen.
I can imagine this pedestal wouldn't have been empty as it is now.
They stuck this ugly, looks like a boiler unit of some sort, and blocked this really nice stained glass piece there. Such a shame.
Various religious memorabilia and furniture also remained in this section of the orphanage, differently to the vacant rooms across the rest of the complex.
Oh my god, yeah, it looks a bit like a gun. Warning, these premises are alarmed. Yeah, maybe try not to touch the door.
This might be the alarm doors are on over there. Yeah, I think this is them.
I think you can squeeze through without touching.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Cameras here as well. Wow, this corridor's so nice. This is really nice.
Wow.
The floor continues.
This corridor's so nice with the floor tiles and the arches. Wow. There is definitely construction work going on. Hopefully this was old and we don't come across anybody. Okay, now we've actually set an alarm up, as I'm sure you can hear.
It was only a matter of time. Our exploration was ramped up in pace, not wanting to be caught by whoever came to switch off the siren, but we found that many corridors linking to this main one were secured anyway.
So clean down here. And again, it's not. For corridors, this place is pretty amazing. Holy wow. That's not a phrase, but I didn't expect this. Very nice. Looks like it had some more stained glass. I don't know if that was blocked off from the chapel. Probably was.
With the sighting of this additional segment to the church, we had seen everything that was accessible. Leaving wasn't debatable, with each of us agreeing to exit as soon as we could, thankful to still be alone at this stage. Some proposals for the structure are publicised online, describing it as bearing the potential for housing, a hotel or a wedding venue. Although it is clear that some building work has occurred in the past, it doesn't seem like much is going on currently. For now, it sits silent, a ghost of its history waiting for new developments. Here are some of our photographs captured at the abandoned orphanage. If you like the look of them, check out our Instagram page where we share images from our explores months before they are seen on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the consistent support on our recent videos too. We have decided that if we reach 50,000 subscribers before the end of 2021, we will go skydiving. See you next time.